Welcome back, dear viewers. Our second guest of the evening is Mr. Hamza Taqi, Master Performance Consultant. Mr. Hamza, good evening. It's really a pleasure to have you with us tonight on Hala Kuwait.
Thank you, and good evening to all of you.
Good evening. Of course, we have a lot to learn from you every time you're teaching us something new. And today, I think, is a very important topic we're going to discuss.
Exactly. There is something that makes us heavier. Let's say, for example, I weigh 70 or 80 kilos, but sometimes I feel I'm 150 kilos emotionally, which is stress. Will you please, Mr. Hamza, tell us more about stress?
Well, stress is basically a body reaction to an event or a situation that we cannot control, maybe threatening or challenging situation that we can control. So our body tells us to be careful, to be ready. That's what stress is. It's another definition for it is it's a psychological and physiological event that happens of our body reaction to a certain event that we have no control on. That's what it is.
Yeah. Now you led us to wonder, is it only stress or it's types of stress? Is there any types of stress?
Yes, they could be type of stress, and there are many ways to describe the type of stress, but the best way is the acute stress. The acute stress happens to us, to all of us, when we go maybe skydiving or roller coaster ride. We get stress, right?
Definitely.
And that's fun stress. You like it and you enjoy it, and it happens, your heart start beating and you might have sweaty hands or your stomach start. But then after the few seconds that you are in the ride, you get out, you're all relaxed and you're happy.
Exactly.
Then there is the second type, which is the episodic acute stress, which happens mainly to healthcare people who are from crisis to another crisis. So it comes to them as acute, but they have a time to relax a bit and to from between crisis. Then the problem stress is the chronic stress, which is you are stressed all your life, all your time. Meaning you have a boss that you are stressful with, you have a partner at home or a sister or brother that you're always fighting with all the time. That is chronic stress. And that leads to 90% of the illnesses and diseases that we have.
It can lead to disease or illness.
Of course, 90%
really
according to research, 90% of the illnesses that we have nowadays is due to stress.
I think
Some sort of form of stress.
Yes, of course, and I think stress plays a huge role in our life because you mentioned stress is everywhere, basically. You're facing stress every day. It depends what type of stress. So stress usually have a lot of different symptoms when it comes to the body as well as the mental health. So can you tell us some of the symptoms, please?
Well, there are physical symptoms where your body, for example, you start, for example, you're going on a public speaking event and you are the speaker. You start, your hands start sweating or something happens in your stomach. I don't know what, and you start worrying. That's stress, but that's one symptoms of stress. Now there is a mental, and there is emotional stress, and that's usually is more hurtful for the body, for our body, because our body and brain reacts to these symptoms, and it will send a huge surge of chemicals and hormones like cortisol or adrenaline, so your heart start pumping and the blood, you can have a blood pressure out of that, because your body is telling you to either, and this triggers the flight and fight,
Behavior.
Yeah,
sometimes your body needs to react to this situation because you're feeling it and it's causing the blood to pump and it's causing you need to either move or relax.
Absolutely.
You need to do something about it. So it's signs from the body telling you something.
Exactly. And it cannot, we always look at stress as negative. It has a lot. Imagine if we don't have stress.
Oh.
I mean,
I think maybe it would be a little bit too good to be true.
we'll be lazy. We will not do anything, right? Stress that, if I have an exam next week, stress which makes me get up and study for it or allocate time to study for the exam
So
before
it gives you a
comes.
push.
Exactly. That's why we have stress. It's a normal reaction by the body. Is our body telling us, even depression is like, or anxiety, or grief is your body telling you to go back, pause, reflect on what's going on, rather than being active, because you're depressed. Your body is telling you to go in and find out what's going on. Loneliness, sometimes, feeling lonely is your body telling you to go and contact people, contact
Go
your loved one.
socialize.
Yeah, go socialize, exactly. So stress has a lot of benefits, but we focus on the negative side of that because of the media as well. The media keeps,
Showing it in a negative way,
yes,
probably.
and on the symptoms, when you have chronic stress, it could lead to blood or heart diseases, and you have migraine, headache, you have digestive problems, you can have gain in weight, or you can be addictive to a certain caffeine or whatever. So it has a very serious consequences if we are not able to manage that stress, and if it continues all the time.
Of course, I think that's very important to actually manage the stress, to control it. A lot of people might even stress eat, so that might cause them into a lot of health issues, and we really need to watch out for these signs. Also, we'd like to know, how can we reduce stress?
The best number one is exercise. Moving, dancing, jumping up and down. It helps a lot. It changes the brain chemicals, and all your body will become it's
You feel
operating.
different. You feel different about yourself. You feel great
really
after a
good.
workout.
Absolutely. So the best thing is to exercise. Exercising, mindfulness exercises, reading, being with loved ones, having fun, having breaks, vacation. These things helps you release stress. But exercise is the best.
Of course, I think that's very important what you mentioned, to take actually breaks from work or whatever you are doing in your life. Take a break, have an enjoying moment with the family, and of course exercise. There's nothing better than exercising.
Yes, and some people, they are stressed at work, and they only find out after the ambulance coming to get them. That's really sad, really,
That's sad.
Maybe they
Sad
are
but
trying
true.
to ignore
Yeah,
the
true.
issues, Muhammad. A lot of people usually ignore them. I think that's one of the reasons.
And Fatma, Muhammad, stress, it happens to everybody. It's not for adults only. The infant have stress.
Exactly.
I
The
didn't
children,
know that,
yeah, we
because I
always-
know like sometimes they show a kind of anger management, like a lot of kids, they have anger issues, but
Yes.
that's their way of saying maybe you're ignoring me, or this is not what I want, or
Because they cannot communicate with you.
Yes.
So they're
Exactly.
stressful because they want to communicate, they want to say something. So what they do, they cry or shout. Or they want to, they're crawling, they cannot stand or walk. They want to walk, they feel stressed. So stress is, and that's what makes the kid want to walk, want to play, want to ride a bicycle. Even they fall because they see other people are doing it.
Exactly.
of course I think that's a very important point.
Definitely. We all know, Mr. Hamza, that food increases weight. But how can food increase stress? Will you please tell us?
Yeah, if you are eating, let's say, junk food, if you're eating a lot of this energy drinks and not good food, it will glutathione and all these things, it sticks on your stomach and it stays there for a long time, and it creates some sort of illness within your stomach. So the best food to eat to get rid of stress is veggie and the fruits. And these are the best thing that you can do for your body, because it contains good vitamins, good minerals, and it makes your body stronger to fight any kind of events or something that we have that causes us to be stressful.
Exactly. So when it comes to stress versus medicine, when it will be the right time for people who feel stressful to go to the doctor?
Yeah, when it's really chronic and they're always complaining and they're always fighting and they're always stressful and they're always gaining weight, they are having a digestive problem, they are more into addiction in any way, a sort of addiction. It could be just drinking coffee, excessive, or being addicted on social media or media, and excessive usage of media, because they are trying to run away from stress using something else, or gaming or something like. Now, there is nothing wrong with gaming. I don't want to tell people that gaming is not good. It's good, but excessive is bad. Anything that you are doing it compulsively and all the time, it's not good for your health, including food that we eat sometimes, like fizzy drinks and stuff. Soda drinks are really sugar. They really help on being
causing a lot of
stressed.
health issues.
Yes.
Yes, of course. I think junk food is, in general, you really should stay away from it, because even if you
Absolutely.
want to eat some kind of junk food, make it like once a week. Like
Or
have
a
it
month.
done.
Once a
I
month.
think that's a little bit
It's
hard for everyone to make it once a month.
Yes. It's good to start, little step, baby step,
Yes.
to change habits.
Of course.
Agree.
And what would you say to our dear viewers, whatever they may be watching us, what would you say to them as a word of advice about stress?
Well, I tell them that stress is a normal thing. It's our body telling us this is something important and you have to act and do something about it. So don't take it as, oh, I am stressed, and don't use that word all the time. Talking an internal dialogue, I am stressed, the weather, looking at these things, that stresses you more and stresses the people around you. All you need to do is take a deep breath, from this abundance of oxygen God is giving us for everybody, and smile and do something about what you are stressed for. So it's your body telling you, to do something about it. Just jump. Sometimes we don't jump. It's the first thing, like we're talking about skydiving. In the skydiving, people in the same airplane, some people are excited because they're going to jump. Some people are praying, they're reading, and they are afraid. In their brain, when they check their brain, the excited people and the anxiety, the people who are threatened, who are
anxiety, yeah.
very stressed, the same function of brain is working. So excitement and stress has the same condition, or the same brain chemicals. So what you have to do is, when you are stressed, to that matter, say, okay, how can I use this stress to be better? To solve this problem or correct this event that I have, or the challenge that I have. You have the control.
Of course, I think that's very important. We actually have to do something about it, not
Exactly.
neglect it,
Exactly.
not make it bigger. We have to actually try to solve it.
Absolutely.
That's a very important step that we really need to do.
Absolutely.
Well,
Thank you so much for this amazing information about stress and for helping us to learn more about it. It's always a pleasure to have you here in the series of
Thank
Al-Akoui.
you. The pleasure is all
yeah,
mine.
definitely. And we wish you the best of luck with your
Thank you.
future endeavors. And we really enjoyed this interview.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear viewers, for watching our interview with Hamza Taqi, who is a master performance consultant. We hope you enjoyed this episode about stress. And let's move on to our next report. It's about recycling. Stay tuned.